Hi YouTube, how are you? This is Bayu. It has been about 15 days, 16 days from the last time that we made a video. Last time I was talking to you about the sleeping light gear, sleeping roll, sleeping gear. I guess you are tired of listening about the numbers were low, but that's okay. If you already know what to do, that's the best. That's the best approach, and that's good because you know you're not going to be cold. At least for the next 4 or 5 months here in the Southwest is going to be hot. Okay, I have two toys to show you, especially to my new young subscribers and my new female subscribers. This is the old external casing or stove. I call it case because it looks like a case. And basically, it has a front door, wind protection all around, and you put the little external can right here. But you can also put one of those alcohol stove. I don't have one handy, but basically you set it over here, and then this can be used to put any kind of pot. And then you close it back up. And it protects you for the wind. Now, if you use a sterno, you know this is slow. They don't burn hot as fast as the regular alcohol stove. So this is a good little thing, and it's very light. Okay, I know how much, I think when I bought mine from eons years ago, it was around $5.99. Right now probably it's over $10. And it's very easy to come apart. So what you do is you basically, the longest side part in, and then you fold this inside. Okay, let me do it again slowly. You put this under this inside, and then it goes like this. Okay, also you can do it like that. Okay, and then this is it. It's very light, so I'm not proud. And let me tell you when what happened to me. You know, for those that have been with me for a while, I have a store in the flea market in my neighborhood, not in my neighborhood, in the next city next to me. So I like to go and look for new stuff. The owner is Korean, South Korean, and he offered me a few dollars discount, $3-4 discount. Okay, this one, I saw it facing like this. And the back of my head says, this is a nice Pakistani knife. So I told him, I have to see it, please. Let me see the new one. And he said, okay, yeah, you're right. This is a new one. 100% leather case. So he said to me, he says, good. He said, you know you Pakistani knife. And I went, what? Pakistani? So I was reading, it says, yep. Our 1636 Pakistan. Rough Rider. Okay, so let me tell you about this company. I like Rough Rider, but they used to be a Chinese made knife. And I think I told you before, I'm partial to the Pakistani steel and the Pakistani craftsmanship. I have seen videos on YouTube how they even copied the new Turkish army handgun. And it works fine, good steel. They have no problem with steel. They can handle steel, okay? Good copies too. And then they do knife for decent amount of prices, handmade, and they're almost perfect. Of course, when they're handmade, it has a little bit of a little flaw, which is normal, you know. So right here on the copper, on the brass, I had like a little pinhole, another little minute pinhole right here, because when the craftsman works, it's not perfect. Here you see that it's not quite flat, and in between is leather, just like the Eastman, I think it is US Eastman hatchet. But this is RR 1636 Rough Rider 1636 model Pakistani steel blade. And guess how much I paid for this? With the sheet, $15. Regular price was $17.99. So if you buy it at Amazon, eBay, you have to pay taxes and you have to pay delivery. So when you buy from a local business person, he give you a nice discount. So you don't have to incur the other two charges. Okay, real quick, I'm going to tell you something that it has been bothering me for the longest. Okay, I found it. Okay, YouTube. So let's talk a little bit about missiles. I know, some of you are not been in the military, and some of you believe 100% U.S. press, with a lot of people are now calling them U.S. prostitutes because they lie. I mean, I know the last president complained about the liars, but it's true, they lie. I'm not a Republican. I'm not pro Mr. Last President, but I know. And remember the old saying, the devil knows more for being old than for being the devil. And that holds water. Okay, so let's talk about these two items that worries me a little bit. Precision strike missile, PRMS, was supposed to be the analog. Analog in military terminology means carbon copy of the Iskander, the Russian missile, precision strike missile, which is supposed to have a range of 500 kilometers. Well, I really don't know what the problem is with the engineers, that it was a total fiasco to the point that the Department of Defense told the company, hey, come out. You're wasting billions. I said again, billions. And the funny baloney POS is not working, so that weapon system, PRSM, precision strike missile, which is supposed to be the analog copy of the Iskander Russian missile, there is no more. So we don't have something like that. The only thing we still have is the old 40 years old MRLS. It's nothing better and newer than that. That's one. The second thing that I want to talk to you is this right here. Is the US SM-6 interceptor, which is supposed to work with the Aegis ship fire system component. The Aegis ship, the system, the computers and the trackers and everything else. But the missile is a new missile, SM-6 interceptor. And this is funny because the U.S. Missile Defense Agency, which is a U.S. institution, it's not civilian, it's U.S. It's not a military, but it's a U.S. Institution that works with the Navy, works with the Air Force, and then they test this stuff. Okay, they were in Hawaii with the Navy ships, trying to hit a medium range ballistic missile, U.S. Medium range. And the Russians sends a little spy ship, not a Russian Navy destroyer or corvette or nothing, just a spy ship with a big boat communication. And as the Russians followed the international rules, 13 miles from the little island, I wish I know the name of the island, the part outside the territorial waters. So hey, they're in international waters, nothing you can do about it. If you act like a normal, decent force. If you want to be stupid, you go, even though they are 13 miles, you can shoot it and sunk it, but then you have problem. Serious problem. So they went up there. When they found out that the Russians were there, they stopped and the alarms, whistle, and oh yeah, the Russians are spotted. Russians are spotted. Hey, where are they? 13 miles out in the ocean. Nothing that we can do. Everybody can be 13 miles. Even the Iranians can be 13 miles off New York or LA. International waters, guys. So they got tired of waiting because the Russians were going over it. We're going to film you POS right here, guys. So you better impress me. So a couple of days later, they did the first trial. Here you go, the U.S. Missile Defense Agency fired the first SM-6. The Navy fired the mid-range ballistic missile. They go, phew! They completely missed the target. So then they say, okay, something happened, readjust, recalibrate the computers, the missile, the whole 9 yards. No cheating, no cheating. Hey, the Russians are watching. He goes the second launch. He goes the medium range ballistic missile. Whoa! Second time they missed. So it sounds funny, but it is not funny because it boils down that the Navy and the famous Aegis weapon system, the 31 Event to one, that it was supposed to be the top of the cream, and it's so expensive, and it's 110% unforgiving, and all that mumbo jumbo lies. It cannot hit a medium range intercontinental missile. What that has to do with the price of rice in China? Well, not quite in China. Go a little bit west. A little bit west and a little bit south. People's Republic of Korea, also known as North Korea. People's Democratic Republic of Korea, also known as North Korea. They have those little toys. And every time they get upset, they launch and they fly over Japan and land in the middle of the Pacific. Of course, they don't have a nuclear head, but they basically they tell everybody, hey, yo, look our toy. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 miles, right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And the latest we heard from, as the last president called it, the Rocky Man, they have one, they can go up to 12,000 miles. So basically that missile can reach New York, the East Coast. If you're not into artillery, it doesn't get you upset, it doesn't get you nervous because you're clueless, you're a civilian. You don't understand. You can play the no comprendo. But if you're in the field, artillery air defense, you know that we are in deep doo-doo because we have nothing, nada, that can touch those mid-range intercontinental ballistic missiles. And not talking about our cousin the Russians with the new top of the line, faster than there is no tomorrow missiles. We're talking about old beat up 70s and 80s missiles. I don't even want to talk about the Minuteman that we were trying to upgrade with the new fuel. It went to pieces and they had to destroy the mid-flight. So guys, bottom point, or bottom line, I was in the military in a long time, 13 years, till I decided to become to listen to Texas. I came to Texas to be a teacher. Now I retired as a teacher. So, but still like artillery and keep up with when it comes to that because 30 years in the business, you get close to your heart. Like you always saying, once a cup, you always a cup. It holds water with soldiers. No, I'm not infantry. No, I hate Rambo because that's funny baloney Hollywood crap. But in artillery, hey, it works. You don't believe me? Ask the Azerbaijani fought the what is the little Mickey Mouse that they think they own the place and they don't speak the language, and everybody in the neighborhood speak the same language or a deviation of the same language. Albanians, well, I remember in a minute. And they got the tail kicked big time because they get comfortable. And in the last two wars in the 80s and in the early 2000, they defeated the Azerbaijanis like there is no tomorrow. They kicked the tail. But on the last one, last year I believe it was, the Azerbaijani kicked their tail and they played the, okay, look here, little bird. And when they were looking at the nose doing artillery battle, just knock on the house and they destroyed them using the little turkey drum toys. But going back to our problem, and they were right outside Maui Island doing this exercise, and they failed miserably. So we don't have anything to hit anything that flies around. We saw what happened recently 2 weeks ago between Israel and Hamas, and the technology of the Hamas artillery meant that they would launch a cheap backyard-made rocket that hardly went over the fence, but because the angle of fire was so high, the quality was so high that they triggered the iron drum, and then they were shooting the $60,000 missile hitting the $200 rocket, and he got the second volley, zoom, the 200 kilometers reach missiles, which were designed by somebody else in the neighborhood and then made in Gaza. The point is that even the Israeli equipment, which is supposed to be good, they're never given the real numbers because they don't have real numbers. Why do they have real numbers? Because you couldn't hit all of them, guys. There's a percent. And if you, like I told you on my last video, if you look on the Turkey or RT video on the Israeli side, you can see the fire on the ground, the burned bus, the burned vehicles, the big holes in the buildings. There were missiles that went through and hit the target, the intended target. So imagine the North Korean playing game with us. Imagine one of those two little long-range intercontinental missile escape the edges and couldn't hit it because it doesn't work, guys. Hit either the West Coast, the Midwest, or the East Coast. Ouch! We're gonna have a mess over here. And the tide of people going south, because they're not going to go north. There's nothing in the north. Sorry about the Canadians, they have nothing. And they are nobody when it comes to business nowadays in the Americas. And the way they behave, they're kicked out of Peru, kicked out of Bolivia, kicked out of Ecuador, and now going to be kicked out of Mexico because of what they behave. Arrogance take you nowhere in business. So I really don't know what to tell you guys. Don't be comfortable thinking that the DOD can kick everybody's tail, because it's not true. And missiles have proved that time after time after time. Now I remember vividly when an idiot, because he has to be an idiot to ask Mr. Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, you're not scared that the U.S. can attack you? And Putin laughed on his face. Basically saying, with what? We have started like destroying you all slow stuff, because it's slow, guys. The only one that got the real fast toys are the Russians. And then now the Chinese, we haven't seen the Chinese in fly, test it, track it, say, hey, yeah, go, time. We don't have that time, but the design and engineering is supposed to be that they have a good intercontinental missile that they can launch and hit the target. We don't know if it's long range or medium range, but still the point is they have it and we cannot hit it, and that's the question, and that's the problem. If you cannot hit the enemy flying stuff, we're in deep doo-doo. And I don't care if Superman, Batman, Flashman, and all those Hollywood superheroes are here, they're worthless. They don't count. You have to have a tool, you have to have a system that can hit those things flying. Just like Israelis. Oh, and by the way, the U.S. Army tried to buy some of that, but they have problems with authority on where to put in how many, because, it's engineering, and the Israeli did a decent job, and they don't want to lose the engineering. That's mucho money, guys. If you put your brain on your assignment and you got it done, you can sell it. But no, the army want to pay and take it and copy and do whatever you have to do, and Israel saying, no, go to hell. We're not going to sell your crap. So they only bought two, and they are restricted to that area, which is support of the U.S. forces, the command in the Navy, and one of the EUA or whatever the Sixth Fleet is located. That's what they're set it to protect the headquarters. So guys, I'm sorry to bring you bad news, but this is what I've been reading. Not through U.S. press institutes, but outside news on both. The Russians, the Chinese, the Turkish news, even the Almanar, which they basically publish this stuff and they laugh because it says a paper tiger. We had nothing to hit them with, and that is true. Okay, guys. So follow the lead. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Has emergency escape route. Have your wealth in your hand in case that something goes wrong someplace. Banks are going to be closed. The system could get taken over. Remember that Georgia Pie Company, what was the name of the company? A simple software, and they had to pay $4.4 million to release the network, the server, because ransom took over. I mean, and the whole East Coast got no oil, no gasoline. And I know you saw the video. I know you saw the TV. So there is no protection, no sense of protection, false sense of security. This is what I want you to put it in your head right now. They could team up with us. I mean, they could team up against the U.S. and then what are you going to do? You got to run, not north. You have to do south. So make sure you have some means to run if you have to run, because once they squeeze one or two on the north, east, center, or west, everybody gonna run south. Probably Texas, but we know we're gonna go even farther south than southwest. Okay, guys, nice talking to you. Be aware, be careful. Do your planning. Remember, your wealth needs to be a hand reach. If you have to bury in your backyard. Behave. Thank you for watching. Bye.